news coming from the Persian Gulf that an American fighter jet have just been shot down over the skies of Tehran. And this American fighter jet was operating between the borders of Iran and Iraq in a place in Iraq called Basra. The American fighter jet has now been shot down by the Iranian Air Defence system, because before now, America has been claiming that they have control of the Iranian airspace, but from the information we are receiving right now, it seems as if America has lost control of the escalation in the Middle East, because it's so shocking that an American fighter jet was being shot down, and according to information, it scrambled into the Basra region of Iraq. And as we speak, Iranian police are currently looking, desperately searching for this American soldier. And in the middle of all this, another Khorram Shah ballistic missile has been launched at Israel as we speak. And this Khorram Shah ballistic missile carries a 2,000 kilogram payload. And apart from that, we don't have updates on what is going on. Another thing about the information that is coming out right now is that Ben Gurion Airport has now been attacked, and the Ben Gurion Airport, according to information, is carrying currently 30 US KC-135 and KC-46 refueling tankers. Look at the video of the American fighter jet that got shot down over the Tehran skies. Look at it. CENTCOM initially denied this, but ladies and gentlemen, they can no longer deny it. So after it was shot down, the police, sirens are blowing all over the place right now. They are currently searching for him. And now the problem is, the people that love him, they must look for him, because the Iraqi Basra residents are currently chanting, "Go back." They are saying it in the Islamic, language, but based on information, they said it means, "Go back, Walid. What brought you here to this hole, American?" So, a lot is going on right now, and they are searching hard for him. The Iranian police are equally searching for him, but I pray that the locals don't get to him first, right? So look at the locals. Now that is the problem. That is why they are all looking for him. He got out of the crashed aircraft, and I think he didn't stop instantly. He didn't want to stop in Iran, because the fate will be very, very bad. If the Iranian operative gets hold of him, it will have to be a source of intelligence. Where is your operational center? Where are you coming from? Your command control? Like, it will give a lot of security information that should be classified, and that maybe that was why he got to Iraq, but we don't know who is going to get him first. If he ends up being kidnapped, the people that gets him might trade him with Iran for money. Everything is getting very, very dangerous right now. So apart from that, Tel Aviv currently, man, the Khorram Shah 4 is now towering over the skies of Tel Aviv, and we have another information that the Ben Gurion Airport has been hit, and black smoke is rising over the Ben Gurion Airport right now. There is another explosion in Kuwait. Something has been hit again in Kuwait. There is massive explosion going on in Kuwait. Now, if you look at the strategy of what is going on in the Persian Gulf, America no longer controls this fight anymore. Now, what do I think? I think initially America got into this fight without knowing the level of opposition. They don't know. America did not have the full understanding or the full knowledge of how dangerous the Tehran forces are. They don't know the capability of the IRGC. It's like the American operation in Mogadishu, where they went from being an offensive force to a defensive force, from a defensive force to a force that need a quick rescue force. The quick rescue force came in, and all of them did not survive. Anybody that have seen the real documentary, the quick response forces that was deployed in the heat of action did not survive. right? So a lot is going on now in Tehran. I think America, after the 12-day war, they kind of felt like, I think the 12-day war gave them the cojones to come back outside again, because it felt like they got too much respect from that 12-day war, the B2 and all of that. Then again, I think the Venezuelan operation kind of emboldened the Americans, like Donald Trump especially. And I think there was a little bit of propaganda, the way they grabbed the Venezuelan. And if you look at the way Desi Rodriguez is behaving right now, it seems as though that Maduro was sold out by his people. There are no loyal individuals in Venezuela. I don't take it. I won't say my bad for that information. I think that's the identity. That's the identity they have. That's not a place where you can lay down your life for the people. You can't trust those people. But America is meeting a formidable enemy right now. And things are getting out of hand. Bodies are returning home. Now, I will explain to you, the operation in the Persian Gulf has failed. It has failed. Like, like America currently don't have a mission. Like, do you know that you have targets? When you enter a confrontation, there is a target, there is an objective. I think the objective for the Americans was to launch a decapitation strike on the first day, second day, maximum the third day, to do a cleanup on maybe the fourth or the fifth day. To Donald Trump, I can tell you, when you look at the way Americans fight, their doctrine, they like short fights and they believe so much in area power. But the problem is, the way the Iranian regime is being arranged, now there are reports coming out through the New York Times that the Iranian regime have full control of Iran right now. So they did not understand. They thought it was a normal democracy when you take out the president and the vice president and every other thing is done. But America is seeing something they've never seen before. You can see that Donald Trump is currently talking about the leadership today, that he doesn't, that they need to consult him or something. Donald Trump is worried because the situation is getting out of control. I am going to play you some videos today. It's going to shock you. You are going to laugh, depending on what side of history you stand. This is going to be one of the worst failures of all time. And to be honest with you, I don't like the fact that this is going to be a failure. I don't like the fact that you call yourself one of the greatest military on the planet, right? And you are going into a war. Even if you are fighting an asymmetric opposition, we learn. Everybody learn. We learn from things. I should be learning some things from America in this war. I'm telling you, this is for me. I don't know for anyone else. I'm not supporting anybody. I want to learn. I want to get new tactics because we are the young generation and we don't know what will happen in the future. So we concentrate on geopolitical events. We look at, different things that are happening. We look at asymmetry. We look at new technologies. We look at everything and because these things is going to shape the future. But what I'm saying, regrettably, is that the regime, the America command, has nothing anymore. That is why you are seeing carpet bombing of civilian buildings in Tehran. That was why they bombed the school. And they're trying to deny that it's because of the deployment of the AI technology. I am looking at Iran. Do you understand? I don't know if you've not been listening to propaganda. You will discover that Iran has multiple objectives and Iran is still on course. Let me tell you something. Iran really understands this fight to the point that you can see that Iran continues to hit targets, specific targets. Iran is not launching barrage. America no longer have a specific objective. What they're doing now is just continue to dump some bombs inside Tehran. And I look at the whole mission and it was very Gaza doctrine. Thank you. And I look at the whole mission. I was like, man, these guys don't have anything again. And they are panicking over the skies of Tehran. You see, this F-15 that just knocked down is a sign. Apart from that, when you look at some of the bombing that the Americans have been doing, which is part of the smartness of, the Iranians, is that the Americans are bombing, they are bombing concrete, they are bombing paintings, they are bombing concrete. Look at this. Look at this. This was one of the traps that was set by the Iranians, and the American bombed it, thinking that they bombed something reasonable, and that was concrete. So we are seeing the Iranian troops really dictating the tempo of the combat. For you to dictate the tempo of a certain, escalation, you have to, first of all, be in control. For you to dictate the tempo, you have to be in control. There are 3 R's. For you to release properly, you have to receive properly. You have to retain properly. America is not doing any of these things. That fighter jet that got knocked down is part of, the fact that America no longer have a strategy. Another thing is, there is this friendly fire incident, right? This friendly fire incident, right, in is it in Kuwait, right? It's because everybody is just doing anything anyhow. There's no strategy. Now, Donald Trump said they have control of this over the skies of Tehran, right? If you have control over the skies of Tehran, your aircraft should not be knocked down this way. That means you have supremacy over everything. Look at the MS-900 drone capability of the Israelis have just been knocked down. So now we are having a situation where Iran is making this fight more costly. And for the people that are thinking about the contest that happened between the men of Bar, right? That's the Israeli, commander, right? And the F-35 and the Yak-130 trainer fighter jet. That's not even a fight. If you want to give credibility to that fight, you have to compare, the generations of the fighter jet should be close. Probably an F-35, okay, or a Chinese, one of the latest J series of fighter jets. You have to look at it, the speed, the avionics, everything must be balanced. Then it now comes to the capability of the personnel himself. How good is this personnel, right? So we are seeing a situation where you are using F-35 to hit J-20. Thank you very much. You are using an F-35 to knock out a trainer fighter jet that was deployed to knock out drones. That's not supremacy. This is just one of many fighter jets that will be knocked out. So what did I notice from looking at how American forces are being deployed from the USS Gerald Ford today? I don't even know where the USS Gerald Ford is being parked, but the thing is so quick. They are reloading, they are moving. As they are moving, dropping bombs, they are coming back. So the question is, what is the objective? Okay, where are the IRGC? America don't know where they are. They don't know where they are. They don't know. Thank you very much. They don't know where they are. The Americans don't know where the IRGC are. Larijani is still talking. They don't know where Larijani is. That is why you are now hearing these talks of we need boots on the ground. We need boots on the ground because they don't know. They don't have any type of detail. Like, they don't know what they're even bombing. Before you can bomb a concrete, right? Reinforced concrete. That means you don't even know what you are eating. And that is a sign of urgency. That's a sign of panic. You are not calm. You are not composed. You don't have an objective. The IRGC headquarters have been hit. You expect somebody to be there after Abbas Araghchi said they are going to be fighting, an asymmetric, unconventional pattern, right? Do you know the funny thing? Before I was thinking that whoever controls the skies of Tehran is going to control the fight, is going to dictate the tempo, and is going to win the fight. But what did we notice? We noticed that there is this propaganda going on that America is controlling the skies of Tehran. Because if America, do you know what it means that you control the sky of somebody, right? If you control the sky, your jets shouldn't be knocked down. Your drones shouldn't be taken out like that. The Kurdish, the Baluch, thank you so much, Mr. Nelson. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the house. The Baluch and the Kurdish, they are coming out to disgrace to disgrace the Americans, saying that Donald Trump is lying and they are not going to get involved. Before then, the Iraqi forces are launching now. These are the decentralized armed units of the Iranians. They are launching preemptive decapitation strike on some locations of some radical elements already. Look, this radical element they've not started fighting just because of the rumor. And still they are telling the fact that Donald Trump is lying. Now we're seeing a lot of things. We are seeing lies. We are seeing deception. We are seeing a lot of censorship. I was able to post on my Telegram channel today the level of damage that have been done in Israel is devastating. So what am I saying? We are looking at a situation where America is winning the war on the social media. But in reality, the situation is dangerous. I think I have the video. So you know how they are talking. Now, what they are even showing you, the Israelis can no longer deny it. What are they now doing? They are trying to get a sort of sympathy from the people. They are doing false flag attack. You know that CIA operatives have been arrested. You know, in UAE, they've been arrested in Saudi Arabia trying to do a terrorist bombing operation. So what are we seeing now? We're seeing a situation where, you know, look at it. Look at it.
Outside one of the 4 impacted sites from this Iranian ballistic missile attack that happened in the very early
Look at the whole of that environment.
These buildings.
So the whole of the environment has been devastated. We've seen bunkers, reinforced bunkers, right? Blown out. Now the Israeli commanders have come out on the mainstream media to say that now they know that Iran has capabilities that can blow up buildings and equally blow up the bunkers beneath the building. Look, if the way you are seeing information from Iran is the same way you are seeing what is going on in Israel, probably you will be begging on behalf of Israel right now. Right? So look at the speed of the Fatah 2. This speed is extremely... Look, and now I understand what is going on. I think the Israeli lobby, right, they try to bring America into the game. I think Israel really understands the level of Iran. I think Israel understands, okay? But I think the America did not understand. They felt like Iran was any other Persian Gulf state. And I think the Americans came in looking at Iran like, man, we bombed you the last time. We are going to do it again. But I think they tried to launch a decapitation strike, and everybody, every good analyst out there, they said, if you hit Iran in the first 3 days and you don't knock Iran out, you are in trouble. And ladies and gentlemen, they are in trouble. I won't lie to you, they are in trouble. They've tried everything. They don't even know what is what and what is not. The problem is the Americans came into this fight not knowing the strength of Iran. And I feel like the problem for Iran right now is that the Americans are beginning to see the full, not even the full, they are beginning to see how weird the Iranian capabilities are. The fact that Iran have the option of decentralizing their attacks. The fact that, and now when they decentralize their attacks, it means that you don't have a single command control center. The command controls have been decentralized. So anybody can launch anything at any time. You don't know where it's coming from. Now, look at what is happening in southern Lebanon. The Israelis are getting the work. They're getting it so bad. Now, apart from the American realizing, do you imagine that the Iranians, right? Can anybody before this war imagine that the Iranians will not only attack the Israelis and the Americans, they equally served the entire Gulf states. Bahrain is the biggest one among them, then the UAE. They served everybody. Cyprus got served. What did they do? Nothing. So now they are looking at Iran that, man, this is not what we think. And in war, both sides is going to lose. It's going to lose. Okay? Both sides is going to lose. Lebanon are fighting back. And when you look at the way Lebanon is fighting, those guys are, the Hezbollahs are fighting asymmetrically. And when you look at the will of both sides, you have a side that worship death. A side that, look, one, they're in the Ramadan period. Two, you've killed Khamenei. In the Ramadan period, like if they die in this period fighting for their independence, they believe that they are going to Jannah. You will get the next 40 days. You are going to get this fight. You are not going to break these people. The Iranians are still outside and they are protesting. This is not, this fight, the way it's looking to me, like I like to see a good fight. That's what I love. I love seeing good fights. Okay, you do this. Okay, this is the next mission. How are you going to go about it? After you do this, what is your next mission? Now they are beginning to blow the cover of the CIA. How are they doing it? They've blown the American bases. Now, let me tell you something. After blowing the American bases, right, they blew up the radar system. After blowing up the radar system, they exhausted the air defense capabilities. After exhausting the air defense capability, the American troops ran into hotels. They are now attacking the hotels. They hit the American embassies, knowing that some of the CIA operatives, they have their command control center in those embassies. Do you know what Iran is doing? Iran is is telling America, give me space to embarrass you. They are pushing them backward. Now let's go to the next phase of this analysis, which is the fact that America is currently blind in the Persian Gulf. America has been, look, they've been slapped heavily and they can no longer see clearly. Now let me tell you something. The THAAD, the Iron Dome, the Davis Sling, whatever air defense capability you are going to talk about right now, those interceptors are useless without the radar. They are completely useless. Now, this is how you know that Iran is fighting with so much command, so much control, so much tempo. That is why I can argue with anybody that Iran is currently controlling the escalation. How do I mean? When the radar sees the payload that is coming in, because the radar sees the defense is going to work. So you have a complex of both radar and the defense interceptors. They work hand in hand. Without the radar, the interceptors are different because they cannot see any. The interceptors are useless because they cannot see anything. Now, the early warning radar system that is in the UAE, I think, is it UAE or Qatar? They've destroyed it, right? How are they destroying these weapons? They are destroying them with ship drones. They are destroying them with ship drones. Meaning what? First of all, they are wasting your interceptors by making it very costly for you to continue the war. Now, when they destroy the radar system, they launch a barrage of ballistic missiles into the whole place, destroying everything. You know that it was one of those bases that they took out a lot of American troops, but the mainstream media will lie to you, post the picture of some, right? And not post the... No, they cannot use nukes. They cannot use nukes. It's not possible. You cannot use nukes at this point. Because your reputation, you are not using nuke on the entire world. If you use nukes, what you are trying to do is to give everybody... What you want to do is to be in control of everyone. You want people to fear you. So if you use nukes, you are telling a lot of people that covertly they should go and develop their own nuke. But what you want to do is to militarily, conventionally destroy an enemy and earn respect while doing it. So that when everybody look at you, they are going to be like, whoa, you can't fight this guy. is calculated, is composed. They have good operational capability. They have good communication security. They have different command controls. They can really outchess you. When you look at the American movie, what they project is that they have the calculus of combat. But right now, what we are seeing in Iran is that America and Israel, they are getting hit from imperceptible distance. And that should not happen. And why are they getting hit from those distance? Because the radars, right? Both the long range, the short, everything has been destroyed. And they are lying about the destruction of these things. But guess what? The Chinese are now showing the satellite imaging. That look, this is what it looked like before we hit. This is what it looks like after the hit. The Chinese is now the Chinese are confirming the information to you. Why? Because the Chinese are the ones that are picking the target. This is where the problem lies. Iran and the Chinese are not even on the ground. Okay? They are not on the ground, but they are using the Baidu system to control. I think the reason why Israel is not in trouble, the Israelis are smart. To me, in terms of fighting, I think the Israelis are even smarter than the Americans. But can Israel fight a long war? I don't think so. They both cannot fight a long war. That is why the Israelis have a doctrine that, let's say, this entire community now, there is a target here. Israelis have a doctrine of destroying the entire community as long as one target is there. That is to tell you that they don't have the mental fortitude to go for a long stretch. They want to get it done. Both of them, they have that similarity. And that is why you see that whatever Israel does is as if America is doing it. If you can outtest Israel, you will succeed against America. That's what it looks like. So Iran has the mental fortitude. And let me tell you something. You can see that the NBC personnel, the NBC correspondent was asking Abbas Araghchi today that is Russia and China involved? Because they don't understand, they cannot believe that Iran is this smart with the way they are fighting. Right? It's getting embarrassing. Go and search for the real information about the situation in Tel Aviv. It's very, very devastating right now. I'm looking at like the whole street is gone. It's gone. But probably maybe some people are sleeping inside bunkers. Probably. It's very, very possible. Iran is speaking out specific targets. And I think, see, America is playing with smart people that are at home. And it's like the Iranians understand the environment. America does not understand it. The only environment America understands right now in this war is the aircraft carrier. Jump on the aircraft carrier, reload and go. Go and bomb something. So I think they have so much offensive bombs that let's just keep going and bombing so that they know that we are still here. Do you know why they are doing it? Because there is panic that if they don't do it, right, the Iranians are going to use that space to launch a very sophisticated high number of barrage at Israel. So there is this panic, there is this fear at the same time. We are seeing panic, we are not seeing strategy. And that is why they are not trying to do a false flag. You saw the attack on Azerbaijan. What did the UK committee said? They said they've tracked the operation against their base in Cyprus, and the drone did not come from Iran. What does that mean? Somebody is trying to get people involved. Why are they now attacking Azerbaijan? They attacked Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan later found out that the drone was not launched from Iran. So somebody is trying to frame Iran to create a sort of multipolar escalation. Bring a lot of people on board. Why are they criticizing Spain? Why is Donald Trump criticizing some people that those people do not want them to use their air base? Do you know why? Because the Iranians have destroyed the base in Bahrain, destroyed the base in UAE, destroyed the base in Iraq, destroyed the base in Kuwait. They've bombarded the entire, they've made everywhere inhabitable for the empire. So the empire does not have a very proximal forward base. Iran has given themselves enough time to respond to whatever is coming. Guess what? Look at where Iran hits. According to the Iraqi news official, they said that Iran hit the US fighter jet inside the airspace of Iraq. That only means one thing. The long-range radar system of the Iranians is still working. That is a big problem. Do you know how big Iran is? So for Iran to hit the American fighter jets in the airspace, Basra is Iraq. So for the Iranians to hit them in another country's territory, it means that the radar is long. Thank you very much. More aircraft are going to go down. And why do you see that the Americans, you see that their fighter jets and their drones are within the Tehran airspace? It is because they are trying to saturate the airspace with a lot of aircraft. So there is a sort of confusion. That was why you saw that the Kuwait defense chiefs that was in charge of the aerospace command, they said they shot down the American fighter jet. The CENTCOM said it was a friendly fire. You have friendly fires. See, when they say you have friendly fire in an high intensity warfare situation, it is because there is confusion. There is no coordination. Everybody is doing anything anyhow. So America has that problem right now because let me tell you something. America cannot go into Tehran with 3 aircraft. They have to go with multiple. If they go with 3, it will be very easy to pick out those targets and knock them down. And it is if it's not at F-35 that you are using, for the advantage of avionics, speed, and a lot of things, if it's not the F-35 that you are using, if you are using F-15, if you are using F-16, I don't give you a better chance to escape the interceptors as long as you are still within the range. The maneuverability of the interceptors have even gone to a whole new level. The modern design is different. So they are not controlling the fight. So they are currently blind. America is currently blind within the Persian Gulf. So now they are trying to get Azerbaijan involved so that probably they can fly from the Azerbaijan airspace. Lithuania is saying that they want to offer their airspace, right? That they want to offer their airspace to the Americans. The reason why they are doing it is because the bases around, they've been knocked out. Now there is another problem. You can say that, look, nobody should ever tell me that America did not understand that they were going into this war. America had a complete knowledge of this fight even before they said it. Let's not deceive ourselves. Do you remember when Donald Trump was saying they want to get back is it Baghdad? Is he that air base in Afghanistan? Is it Bagram, right? The Bagram American military base. They wanted to get back those military bases because you can easily infiltrate from those regions, and Bagram is so big that Bagram would have given you the opportunity to do a lot of things. That was why Donald Trump said, we want Bagram back. The whole plan was to build a sort of encirclement to put the Gulf states under total hegemonic control. And I can tell you, a lot of people that are not popular, right? within the Gulf, within the Persian Gulf, they are very, very happy right now. I'm telling you, a lot of people might be calling the Iranians and say, like, man, we love what you're doing. But they cannot come, they will come out in the open and condemn them. But why have any of the Gulf states not fired a single missile or drone or anything at Iran? A lot of people are enjoying what is going on, but they will be like, man, we must respond with force. In the see, at the end of this war, I will tell you this, that America will lose influence in the Gulf because the Gulf states will believe you never even had us in your plan in the first place. You wanted to bring new interceptors. You were bringing the whole generation pack, and you were giving Israel the new generation pack. We were never in your plan, and we were spending a lot of money. Another thing they will be forced to realize, they will be forced to realize some things right now. There, the second thing they will be forced to realize is that America does not have what it takes to defend them against a formidable enemy like Iran. Now, this is the last problem that they have right now. Now, we have a lot of censorship going on. Bahrain is currently arresting citizens. They are arresting a lot of people inside Bahrain right now. Why are they arresting them? They are arresting a lot of people because they don't want anybody to pity Iran. Because you should understand that the regime in this region, they've been carefully manipulated and picked. See, most of this regime, they are like puppets. So they don't have control. They are puppets. They don't have control. So, but the civilians don't want them again. So the regime change operation is still on. But the question is, what regime will fall first? Is it the Iranian regime that is going to change, or some of the fragile regime that has been sustaining themselves with the presence of the hegemon? Is it the Gulf regime that is going to fall, or the Iranian regime? It doesn't look like the Iranian regime is going to fall anytime soon. Guess what? To wrap it all up, I'm telling you that there's a lot of censorship going on. Do you know what happened to me yesterday? Have you all heard that Jackson Inku has now been served a complete ban by UAE government? The foreign ministry have contacted Jackson Inku that he has been completely banned because he has been saying the truth. I opened Substack yesterday and I started posting on this conflict, and in less than 12 hours I was suspended by Substack, right? I'm telling you, there is this level of imperial control over the media. They will not let you have access to people that tells you what is going on. They want only people that, oh, America is bombing. I have people in my country that are currently hating me because I am giving the true. Now, this is it. I am giving them image and footage of the Israeli bombing. I'm giving them footage of the American bombing. I'm giving them footage of the Iranian. Like, I'm giving whatever is going on. Everything. I don't care because I have no personal interest in this fight. I want to learn. Now, I have people hating because, you know, they are hating because I am not supporting Israel. The fact that they are Christian. Now we have the world is somehow divided between Israel, between Christian and Muslims. They think this is about religion. No, this is not about religion. This is about a bigger plan for land grabbing. somebody is about to grab somebody's land, and it has nothing to do with religion, but religion is a backup. But people like us that don't think from the religious perspective, we're giving out the real game, and people think this is a joke. Oh, Israel must defeat and crush the enemy. Now you have religious clerics coming out to read the Bible, to use the Bible as a backup to this war. I don't like the Iranian regime. I don't have any interest in the Iranian regime at all. It's not even a country I like. But if you calculate the war, if you look at this particular war, it's an imposed aggression. The fatwa of Ayatollah Khamenei makes sure that he made it so obvious that Iran would not have a nuclear weapon, even if they had the capability. Now, let's even say Iran brings out, thank you so much, thank you so much. Let's assume that Iran brings out of all their enriched uranium. Let's say they bring out all their ballistic missiles. Do you think it stops Iran? These people, they produce 40, I heard that they produce 40,000 scientists every year. These are not some ordinary people that are no theories. They are going directly into the industry. Have you heard about their ballistic outputs in a month? I was hearing numbers of 3,000. Go and ask. That is why they are telling you confidently on their media that what they are shooting, they are producing. And guess what? They are not just producing. They are producing a greater version. They are shooting out the old stockpile. They are replacing them with new stockpile. And like I said, your production rates in a time of conflict, not just any type of conflict, an existential conflict, is going to triple the actual number you've always been producing. Guess what? I want you all to listen to this. Look, like I said, the Americans, they were convinced to go into this war. Donald Trump himself was convinced. He became arrogant. And one thing about any empire that is about to take a very big punch, Ayatollah Khamenei says something, that even the greatest whatever can take a very heavy punch and they will not be able to stand up. I think he had there is something the Iranians kind of believe in, I don't know, that is making them act so arrogant. Okay? Now, let me show you this interview, right? You are good. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, okay?
Boots on the ground in Iran. Are you afraid of a U.S. invasion in your country?
No, we are waiting for them.
You were waiting for the U.S. military to invade the ground troops?
Yes, because we are confident that we can confront them, and that would be a big disaster for them.
So you're saying that Iran is ready and willing to take on the U.S. military if there were to be ground troops?
But we were ready for this war even more than the previous war. So you can see, the quality of our missiles, how much they are upgraded after the last war, because we learned lots of lessons. We are prepared for any other eventuality, even a ground invasion. So our soldiers are prepared for any scenario. When I said we are waiting for them, it didn't mean that we are waiting for continuation of the war. No, but we have prepared ourselves to confront with any scenario, with any eventuality, any possibility, and we know that we can handle that.
Are your allies Russia and China helping you?
Well, they are supporting us politically and otherwise.
Are your allies Russia and China helping you?
Well, they are supporting us politically and otherwise.
Are they supporting you militarily?
Well, military cooperation between Iran and Russia is not a secret. We have worked with each other in the past, and that has continued. And will continue. I guess.
And they are actively helping you in this war?
Well, they have always helped us.
So I'm gonna understand that to mean yes, that they are actively assisting you in this war.
Well, I'm not going to give the details of our cooperation with other countries right in the middle of the war.
Right now, you're saying Iran does not want a ceasefire.
We are not asking for a ceasefire. And we don't see any reason why we should negotiate with the US. When we negotiated with them twice, and every time they attacked us at the middle of negotiations. So there is no request for a ceasefire by us, and there is no request for the negotiation with the US from us. We have never sent any messages to them. And the ship was unarmed. So attacking an unarmed ship full of training officers and sailors is a war crime, I have to say. And the ship was unarmed. So attacking an unarmed ship full of training officers and sailors is a war crime, I have to say. And
so families, families, look. Iran is not just arrogant. You see, I am someone that likes to calculate, to study the calculus of combat, because we are young today. We don't know the position we are going to occupy tomorrow. All right. So because I don't take anything for granted, I am the type of person that probably if you find me in a big position in future, I am one of those persons that believe that my sovereignty is equivalent to a formidable defensive capability. An offensive capability if it's possible. If you have enough military strength to protect your people, then you can say you are independent. Every other thing, there is no international law. We've heard it several times. Can you defend yourself? Do you have the industrial complex? Do you have the technology? Do you have the knowledge to produce at the rate of whatever escalation is facing you? Iran has that. Now, the problem with America is that this war is not happening at the American shore. It's not on the Western Empire. This is the Persian Gulf. Israel is a small state. Iran, they are within the touching distance of Iran. This is a big problem because logistic will be a problem. This war is becoming economically difficult for the world, not just the aggressors, right? It's becoming economically difficult for everybody. So people are beginning to pray. And do you see what Arachi said? I heard from a certain mainstream platform that the Russian Akhmat's commander, Akhti Alaudinov, said if Vladimir Putin gives them the order to move in, immediately there is a ground invasion in Iran that they are going to move in. He said they are going to obey and move in very, very quickly. I think that at that point, there will be a total escalation. And let me tell you why the US don't have any other strategy again. The US was thinking that when they bomb Iran, whatever they've been seeing in Iran, whatever developments, the people are going to rise up and they are going to remove the regime. Right? But on the first to second day, right? Hitting Ayatollah Khamenei, you've changed the calculus of combat. You've rewritten the entire history yourself. There might be people that don't like Ayatollah Khamenei personally. Yeah. Now the man that makes sure that the fatwa that stops them from developing a nuclear capability is gone. Now let me give you the game here. The problem that the world sees right now that makes them now think, I think America has just realized that this war that I'm looking at is truly existential. It's because When the Fata 2 was shot, I don't know if it's Fata 1 or Fata 2. I showed you guys the other time. You saw the speed. It means that every nuclear capability that these guys are going to produce is going to be hypersonic. Iran produces 3,000 stock in a month. This means that Iran can go from being an ordinary country to becoming a nuclear super, like ultra superpower. It's not just going to be super. With it, they will have hypersonic nuclear capability, which means that you have no time. Your radar, your long-range radar system is going to see it. But the way the hypersonic is going to fly, I'm talking about the ICBM. Now, the ICBM cannot be stopped. Now, you can stop the cruise missile. You can stop those ones that flies like a projectile, right? But when we are talking about the ICBM, it goes out of space and it comes back at hypersonic speed, leaving your interceptor with a very shorter response time. The only time you have at that point is the hour of regret. And you can see how Abbas Araghchi is so proud, saying that you can see that this time around we are performing differently. If what the mainstream media have been reporting is correct, Abbas Araghchi will not be speaking like this. These guys know that they are destroying a lot of things on the other side. They are not buying uranium. They have it. Russia, Vladimir Putin was asked if the security agreement they have with Iran. Now, I have multiple news, but I'm going to give you a little bit of spice this evening. We have a lot going on, but a lot of people don't want to hear the truth intentionally, and there's a lot of mainstream platforms that are trying to make sure they shadow ban people that are saying the truth. I've deleted Substack. I would never ever use such tool again, because these people are so biased and all of that. Look at these are the Iraqi police in Basra that are currently searching, right? Heavily searching for that American soldier, because if the Iraqi sheets, is it the shites or whatever they call them, this is the American soldier using parachutes. That's him right there, using parachutes. That's him. Because I'm telling you, if those angry locals get to him first, they are going to beat him to the point where I don't even think they are going to recover him in one piece. So they are struggling. Now we have an information. This is a letter from China, an official letter to the Iranian Foreign Ministry. Now this letter reads, the Iranian embassy in China has expressed, okay, according to information, Chinese people keep calling and trying to donate to Iran, so that the Iranian embassy issued a statement saying, we do not need money. Thank you. Iranian embassy, we thank the Chinese people for their righteous support, financial assistance. We will not be accepted at this time, whatever assistance. According to information, they said the Iranian embassy in China expresses deepest gratitude to the civilized and righteous Chinese people. See, look, well, I'm coming. Your humanitarian spirit, your choice of justice, your standing with the Iranian people in strongly condemning the brutal attacks by the United States and Israel against Iranian children and civilians. You know, I've told you from just studying the fight, I told you that they are attacking civilians, not military targets. So, acts of kindness, we will never forget. This is how true alliances are being forged. They said, in this regard, the embassy solemnly informs sectors of the society that, based on the prudent assessment of the current national capacity, the Islamic Republic of Iran currently has no plans to accept financial assistance from friendly Chinese organizations or individuals. If the situation changes in the future, and it becomes necessary, we will notify you separately. Embassy of the Islamic Republic of Iran in China. So what they are saying right now is that for now, they asked Vladimir Putin that, what do you think about Iran? Are you going to provide boots on the ground? See, I made a calculation earlier that it will come to a point. Everybody will be worried about the stance of Russia and China. Why? Because at that point, the empire would have thrown out all the cards that she has, and nothing will change significantly or drastically. And what that will mean is that at that point, everybody will now be looking, war with Iran, war with China and Russia, which are two formidable military. At least Russia is more formidable. You know, the Chinese military have not been tested, but their technology is unparalleled. So at that point, everybody will now be looking, what will they do? Because apart from Israel and the United States, tell me one other military, apart from Russia and their neighbors, that can really, really put up a stiff challenge at this level, apart from the North Korea. So when you're looking at the Iranian side, it's looking stronger, and they've not even done anything at all. Just China doing only targeting. And look at the precision. So when Iran tells you that they are launching precision-guided munition, they are really doing it. They said the Qaram Shah 4 missile has been launched into Tel Aviv. The cluster warhead has 80 submunition and it just hit Tel Aviv. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God. Now, when they launched the Qaram Shah 4, this is it. They wrote on it, in memory of the girls. That's the Minab schoolgirls that got hit. Okay? Donald Trump, together with pastors in the White House, they are praying. Look, families. When the the video was published by U.S. presidential aide Dan Scavino. You see, when the situation, Donald Trump and pastors also prayed for God to continue to give our president strength to lead our great nation. Let me tell you something. When everything is out of control, you will need prayer. See, when you are out of control, like your sense, your brain is no longer working perfectly, you will need miracle. This is Israel right now after the missile. Now you can see that the camera stopped very shortly. They did not want to cover the entire circumference of the disaster. Iranian cluster missiles. That is the report we are getting right now. Iran has once again struck an American military facility in Kuwait. Wow. Okay. CENTCOM walks back F-15 jet crash claim. Previously, it was denied that a jet crashed. Now they edited the tweet and it says no, the jet was shot down. You see, propaganda has a point it will get to. The children of Basra are searching for the American pilots. Half of Iraq is excited and running around searching for the ejected US pilot. Like I said, if the streets get to him first, right, the situation will be devastating. Let me show you Tel Aviv right now. Look at the background. They are trying to stop the reporter. They are trying to stop the reporter. Now, you see, the truth is that I can still tell you categorically that right now, Okay, if there is still heavy censorship going on, you know, somebody said no, far from seeing 25%, the early alarm warning are each day more close to Iranian missile hits because the lack of early radar destroyed in American bases across the Middle East in monitoring timing of early warning, and it's 1 to 2 minutes from Iranian missile arrival. It was 5 to 15 minutes before. Hezbollah are using drones and rockets to document, track, and mark defense system location. I think chaos may reach 12 days before 12 days this time. Iran are using jet-powered drones. I did 110. Now it will be ugly from now on. This is somebody that is speaking from within Israel. You know that there are Nigerians inside Israel that marry Israeli citizens. So they know that before the early warning is, you know, they'll tell them, oh, you have, because they have long range radar, they have multiple of them. So the early warning is always quick. So they give them time. Everybody, you start hearing the sirens. Everybody should go into their bunkers and all of that. But now, the time. So when the war started and Iran started shooting those missiles, everybody started wondering, what is their strategy? Why they are supposed to concentrate on Israel? Why are they making sure that they are, they paralyzed the entire, Gulf states? And do you know what they did again? They made sure they hit some critical facilities so that before they even think of anything, they will have to think of controlling their economy that is south, that is escalating towards the south. They will try to control it first because the radar system are very, very expensive and the interceptors are even more expensive. America base again. Ansarullah just hit another American base. Now, you see the situation we have now. The Yemenis Houthis have not even got. They've not even done anything right now. What we have, they said we are on the 6th day of our historic mission to eliminate Iran's ability to threaten America. They did not before. Let me tell you this. Before now, Basra tribes offer $1 million reward for the capture of the American pilot in Basra. Now, clearly, why half of the country runs around looking for the American pilots? Tel Aviv right now. Now, you see, the situation is like, I can tell you categorically, if America is winning, I will show you too. Iran is launching cluster munition. So you see, the interceptors will be spent very, very quick. You see, a lot of things are going on right now. Like I said, I still go back to what I said. I want the Americans to play draw so that everybody can go. Israelis are bombing Beirut right now. The Dahi district of Beirut, Israeli bombing. It's like the big brother is slapping you, and the big brother is slapping the younger brother. It's taking out the aggression of the younger brother. So for me, right, I think Iran is controlling the tempo of the fight. The objective of Iran is still very long, and they are carefully picking them out. What do I think? I think the IRGC, I think they have decentralized bases. And I think these bases are not even above the earth's surface. I think they have them beneath the ground. I think they carefully planned this war. The strategy has been mapped out. And I think they've actually thought about it that America was going to get involved in the future. But let me tell you this categorically. America wants this fight more than ever. Don't be deceived. that the regime of America won't fight hard now. They will fight hard. But right, what they are doing right now is to bomb civilians. Maybe the Iranians are going to think that, no civilians, let's let them go. That's the strategy right now. And the reason why the Americans want this fight now, don't let anybody lie to you that they want this fight right now. The reason why they want this fight right now is because you can see that Marco Rubio is saying, imagine what they will do in the next 1 year. That is a lie. Let me tell you what the real objective is now. They did not know Iran was this dangerous. Everything that was circulating before, to the Americans, it was like propaganda. But now, the Americans are seeing that, whoa, you are not dealing with Israel alone. You are dealing with multiple, right? What is going on right now is that they are looking at Iran. They cannot even tell the production capability of the military-industrial complex of Iran right now, right? And they discover that they have not been able to do any significant damage. Ayatollah Khamenei is not a significant damage. So the Americans are confused. How can we submission the Iranian regime? The regime has not fallen. Donald Trump now needs prayer in the White House, ladies and gentlemen. So now, I can tell you categorically, they know that if they pause this fight right now, there is something I have been able to study from Iran. Iran will no longer prepare for only Israel. I think they are well prepared. In fact, they've out-prepared Israel. If you leave Israel alone with Iran right now, one-on-one, in less than 5 days, the war will be over. Completely. Somebody will be knocked out cold. But I think Iran did not calculate, they did not anticipate the extent of escalation that the Americans can bring to the game. But I think they know that the Americans will come. They started preparing during the 12-day war. They intensified their preparation. And I think if there is a negotiation right now and this conflict stops now, not only will Iran have nuclear weapon, they will, forget it, they will have nuclear weapon right now. Because the man stopping them is out of the window. It's just like the Russian-Ukraine situation. If anything happens to Vladimir Putin, you know they tried to kill Vladimir Putin, right? When negotiation was going on and they launched projectiles towards this building. Knocking Vladimir Putin out will only bring in somebody like Medvedev that I kind of believe will start attacking Ukraine with tactical nukes almost immediately. Medvedev does not understand international law. And I think it's built like that. So the problem right now is that the man in charge of Iran currently is Ali Larijani. This is somebody that thinks combat, that dreams combat, that P combat. So the only thing that is going to happen right now is that from somebody that thinks from a military perspective, Ali Larijani is going to prepare the Iranians for deterrence right now. I think that is going to be the next thing. They won't want their buildings to be bombed like this anymore. Everybody should prepare for a stronger Iran after this conflict. So there is only one thing. There are two things involved. Either a complete destruction of the entire Iranian entity, the people, everything, which is impossible. How do you even bomb the Zagros mountain? How do you bomb that mountain? How? Do you know the size of that mountain? Then apart from that, how? Because if you leave Iran to go right now, you will never be able to attack them again. And everybody is looking at Iran, looking at this current mode or method of escalation right now. They know that if Iran has nuclear weapon, Iran will not think twice before serving everybody. That's why you see that the Americans are worried that these guys look more dangerous. Now they are talking about boots on the ground. Don't look at news outlets. Don't look at media. Like, don't look at media operatives. Don't look at journalists as just news correspondents. I want you to see news operatives of the mainstream media, news correspondent of the mainstream media. I want you to start looking at them as operative. There are some posts on X and some other platform. When you see them, they want to get data of people's response, what people think. This is how the deep state agencies, this is how they get data. There are some things they call shaking the tree, pushing or scratching the tree or scratching the surface. They want to see response. They want to map out strategy. But right now, I can guarantee you that the Americans have seen that this is not going to be a successful operation unless they have boots on the ground. Now they are asking if the Russians are going to get involved or if they are already involved. This question is only coming out because they are already thinking about boots on the ground because the mission has failed. That's what it means. The plan A is out of the window. America don't have a plan B. The plan B was that the resistance group or the rebels are going to pick up arms and, it's going to look like NATO operation in Libya. That has not happened. They tried to send in weapons to God knows who. What happened? The Iranians captured those weapons. They intercepted it. Why was it possible for the Iranians to intercept? The Iranians intercepted those weapons because somebody from the group they tried to send the weapons to informed the IRGC that we are not ready for this smoke. Everybody have seen that this fight is beyond what the people on the outside are seeing. A lot of people are not seeing the mindset. A lot of people don't know the current mindset. The state of thinking of the Iranians is more dangerous than what we from the outside are looking at. So now it's going to be a long war. That is why you see that they are trying to hit Saudi Arabia. And according to information, Saudi Arabia already knows that these attacks are not coming from Iran. Now, Saudi Arabia informed Pakistan. Pakistan called Iran. The Pakistan Foreign Ministry called Iran. I heard that the president even called the Iranian president. Abbas Araghchi responded by saying that they were not the ones that hit Saudi Arabia. Why? Saudi Arabia has a defense pact with Pakistan. So they are trying to hit Saudi Arabia so that Pakistan can come in. This, I think, right inside this conflict, the Gulf states are gradually unifying. Because I can tell you categorically, there should be, if the Saudi Arabia, if the Saudi states, the Gulf states, if they are not really going on with the playbook of Iran right now, everybody is recalibrating whatever they are doing, they would have responded. Not like they are so scared, but they cannot respond because everybody is now beginning to rethink that this was not about us. This was all about the interests of Israel. And like I said, win or lose, for any side, America is the biggest loser in this war. They are losing. After this conflict, America will lose. Let me tell you something. Win or lose, they will lose. Do you know what it means for you to go and put your nose in a conflict that has nothing to do with you? And you are now losing your men. If you truly value those men, if you value your people, if your people is so important to you, you won't be stupid enough to go and put the life of your people. I don't even know the type of world we live in now. My people are so important to me that whatever put them at risk, I won't even do it. But whatever makes anybody threaten my people, that means I'm going to go all out at you with whatever capability I have. I will try to crush you completely before you are even able to do it. If I have a nuke, trust me, within the first 4 days, I will use it. Because I know if I give you time, you have the capability of doing something to my people. Offense sometimes, preemptive offense, can be a form of defense. So the problem now is that the reputation of America is on the line, which is diminishing very, very fast. Not only is the reputation online, the economy, which, see, the entire empire is the empire is on the rope, because not only will this increase the dollarization rate, everybody will start thinking about the dollar right now. Are you sure we want to continue? Nobody wants to do business with America again, because even if they sell military equipment to you, when they go for their forever war somewhere and the situation is getting very, very impossible, do you know that America has something? They will come and pack those equipment that they've sold and you've paid for. They will tell you that they are borrowing it, that after the conflict, they will come and return it. Nigeria bought A-29 to Kano. They told Nigeria, we don't want to see you deploying this aircraft in so-so theater of operation. How do you deal with such partner? How do you even relate with such people? I don't think the end of the empire has come. I don't think so. But I think we are going towards, with Donald Trump, if Donald Trump wins the midterm election, we might see America plunge towards that big disaster that is coming. I know that all American presidents, they are controlled by the American deep state. But this particular Donald Trump is the worst among all. In fact, is a living disaster right now. What he's doing right is under Donald Trump that we are seeing the ice. We are seeing some things that we've never seen before. America is living under monarchy right now. Monarchy. Donald Trump is the king of America. The Monroe Doctrine was activated. Look at what Marco Rubio said. Marco Rubio said, our allies should not be ashamed. So they want to recolonize the world again. So let me tell you something. America is no longer the leader of the free world. In this conflict, as a neutral entity, I will tell you, Iran is looking like the representative of the free world. And it will be in the interest of the free world for Iran to win this conflict. Have you ever heard you are on your own? That is the fate of America now. The only people that will help America right now are the puppets of the Western Empire and the Western entity. Are they really strong like that? We don't really know. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue to monitor this information. We'll continue to look at the information. We'll continue to monitor the progress. And trust me, I will give you the sincere information based on calculation, based on legitimate verification. I will always be here to give you the update. I know a lot of people are not happy. I know a lot of people came here to hear that America is bombing. Yes, they are bombing. But those are bombings without any objective. America no longer have any objective. I want to see strategy. This is your target. You've taken him out. This is your net. See, when you want to talk about strategy, I want you all to remember the second day of the 12-day war, when Israel was eating all those commanders with precision. That is what you call strategy. I don't want to know how they did it. They did it with the geolocation. They used meta application. They used a lot of things. And what did Iran do? Iran changed from GPS and they moved to the Baidu. Right? They used cyber attack. That is what you call strategy. And they were hitting and the air defenses were not responding. But now, the calculus of combat has changed. When Iran talks like that, and their foreign minister, Abbas Arakshi, who is not a war being, when he talks with that level of confidence, a bloody civilian, I am telling you, America is in the Persian Gulf for a long reality check. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for coming back. There is a lot of military success going on in the AAS right now. Don't worry, you can check our Telegram channel, you get the information. We'll continue to give you more updates as we continue to have them coming in, and we'll verify. Trust us, we verify, we AI check, we do a lot of things before we bring you updates. Thank you, and God bless you. Aluta continua Victoria and Santa to the free world. That is what we have.